The Dread Lady
I heard the Malborn have
well.
spies.
Come and speak with me.
All the fuss is about.
Nice hole. That's why I use the bank.
Well, well, if it isn't the hero of the pact, glad you made it. I'm the leader of the Hidden Armigers. If you've heard of us, we haven't been doing our jobs. The Armigers do the Pact's dirty work. Sometimes that involves agents from the Morag Tong and other secret organizations, like Naryu here. She owes me a favor. It's a long series of stories we don't have time for. She saved my brother. I saved her life. We're back and forth. That's it for story time. You're here about Varna's Galarian? That crazy Altman wants to organize a secret meeting of the Alliance leaders in neutral territory. He'll be here any minute, so I'll let him give you the details. But don't worry, the Armigers will do our part. Little details. Making sure the right agents are in the right places. Protecting Pact interests, that sort of thing. I could tell you more, but then Naryu would want to kill you. Or maybe just cut on you a little. Turns out I'm glad you came, Virion. I'm calling in that favor.
You mean you called me here without knowing if you needed me, Thrush? Ugh. What's the favor?
I need you to contact the other spy networks, the Eyes of the Queen of the Aldmeri Dominion, and the Ring of Daggers in the Daggerfall Covenant.
Contact. You do mean with the tips of my daggers, repeatedly, right?
No, no. This is a diplomacy thing. No killing.
Apologies for my
Waste
lateness.
of a favor, Thrush. Should have asked for something your lackeys couldn't do. We're even after this, you know.
I know, but this is important. Thanks, Naryu. I'll even ride with you as far as Ordon. Let's go.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Champion. I've been consulting with Countess Hakruba of the Fighters Guild. Both of our guilds believe the time has come to take the fight to Cold Harbor. But this places us in a delicate political position. Trust, as always. The Alliance leaders will never agree to join forces, and if our guilds only work with one alliance, the other two will see it as a betrayal. For both guilds, our neutrality is our strength. We can't afford to take sides. The war in Cyrodiil has been long and bloody, and all three alliances are spread thinly. They can't commit resources to an assault on Cold Harbor without making themselves vulnerable. I want to bring all three leaders together, maybe cut a deal. You're in a unique position. You can speak with authority, but you're not an alliance leader. You're respected, you have a reputation. They may let you get a word in before they leap at each other's throats. In short, you're the perfect diplomat. I found the perfect meeting place. A neutral location far from disputed territories, an island called Stirk. I can get you an audience with each leader and provide magical transportation. You just need to convince them to travel to Stirk. That's all I ask. I'll open the portal. I think it's best that I travel with you and make introductions as a neutral party. That might make things easier. Greatly esteemed Queen Irene Arana Aldmeri, it is my great honor to present to you...
Varnus, you're so formal. I remember the patience and kindness you showed an awkward, freckled waif all those years ago on fair Somerset. You captured this child's heart then, and it remains with you to this day.
You warm an old man's heart, my queen. I remember well those halcyon days.
As do I, my old friend. Sorry about all these guards. I'm told they're necessary. These are dark days.
A wise precaution, my queen. My counsel would be no different. If you'll permit it, my companion would like to speak with you.
Ah, yes. Let me meet this hero I've heard so much about. It's not often the heroic deeds of one who by all rights should be considered a mortal enemy reach my ears. Come, let's talk. Varnus is a dear man. In many ways, he is family to me. Since he has given you his trust, I'm willing to set aside our differences. But under different circumstances, you and I would be sworn enemies. Well spoken and point taken. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to meet you. Your exploits are legendary. A true champion is like a stone cast upon the waters of history. The ripples it creates travel far and wide. Humility is a noble thing, but you must also remain strong and self-assured. A true champion is also history's pawn, and history is a cruel and unfeeling master. But enough philosophy. What did you wish to speak with me about? And you need all three of the Alliance leaders to attend this meeting? A bold suggestion. I like it. Very well. I make no promises with regards to the negotiations themselves, but I will attend. That much I promise.
That went well, I think. Shall we move on? To Wayrest, expect a certain level of formality. The court of High King Emmerich is often filled with scandalmongers and subversives. Therefore, protocol is the order of the day. Shall we?
Lovely Donmer Naryu, that she is very welcome to disguise herself as a serving girl and show off for
Raz,
this one.
inappropriate.
This one has no regrets.
Esteemed High King Emmerich, I thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I would not presume to waste your time without good reason.
We've known each other for some time, Master Galerion. You aren't known for your capricious whims. Tell me, though, who is your companion?
Your Majesty, this is Skald King Yoren's personal representative, here to speak with you about the impending Cold Harbor crisis.
The Skald King sends his personal champion into his enemy's stronghold? Either he has a lot of faith in you, or he's trying to get you killed. I'm intrigued. Come, let us speak. Debella's legs, but you are a bold one. Even the bards of Wayrest sing of your exploits. I must confess, I had hoped to meet you one day. We sharpen our blades on the same whetstone, if you take my meaning. Tell me then, is it madness that drives you to barge in here like this? Or perhaps you're here to surrender on behalf of your people. If that's the case, I accept. That's a bit of a dreary subject, but I prefer that over some angry line like, "I've come here to kill you, Your Majesty." I'm glad you didn't say that. So you want to talk about everyone's favorite Daedric prince, then? What of him? Ha! I'm sorry. I think I must have misheard you. For a moment, I thought you were saying you wanted to battle a Daedric prince. That would be especially funny if you wanted my help. So, what was it you really meant to say? That would be utter madness. But I do like the thought of seeing that next to my name in the history books. All right. If Irene and Yoren agree to attend, I'll be there. If this is an assassination attempt, though, I'm taking you with me.
Give my best to Thrush. Tell him I hope we can dance again soon.
So, you've been mingling with the enemy, have you, Daria? Just so you know, I already knew that.
Oh, I love to mingle, Your Majesty. I'm gonna mingle their heads right off their necks one of these days.
I didn't think it possible. Well done! We must return and begin the preparations. We have much to do. Come. All three leaders have agreed to join us on Stirk. Now comes the tricky part. Individually, the leaders are rational, even reasonable. But get them together and, well, you'll see soon enough. Everything's been prepared. Are you ready to travel to the summit? Then, with your permission, I'll open the portal to Stirk. May Auriel's hand guide us all.
The word has been given.
A moment, please. I'll wait for you on the other side.
Our representative, Captain Alfari, is in charge of security on Stirk. He assures us that all is well there, but keep your wits about you. Good luck.
Welcome to the island of Stirk. Representatives from all three alliances are gathering at the meeting place. It's just up ahead, through the ruins. I'm told they'll be arriving at the meeting site by portal any moment. After all the bloodshed in Cyrodiil, I fear the leaders won't be quick to trust one another. Perhaps you can help them see the wisdom in cooperation. I don't envy you the task. We've already assembled quite a team of experts for the Cold Harbor invasion itself. I'll try to introduce you to some of them on the way to the meeting. Lead on. 2 kings and a queen with barely a thimble of patience between them. Reaching a compromise will be no small task, I promise you.
Sir,
Look,
you'd better
it's
be
Lady
worth my
Laurent.
time.
Well, look who's here. It's nice to see a familiar face. Can you believe that the Mages Guild actually asked for our help? Expert consultants, they called us.
It's great to see you again, old friend. I feel better knowing that you're part of this invasion force. Now, there's something I never expected to be a part of. An invasion force.
Careful but please, don't distract me. If I don't finish packing, Lady Laurent will give me quite the talking to.
Vanus Galarian as I live and breathe! Thank you so much for this opportunity. I had no idea the summit was to be held on the legendary island of Stirk.
It seemed a fitting choice. It was here that the leaders of the First Era assembled the All-Flags Navy to do battle with the Slode.
I can't wait to see what surprises Molag Bal's realm has in store for us.
We are waging war, not embarking on a sightseeing expedition, milady.
Fear not, Vanus. I can take care of myself and my useless lump of a manservant. Stibbins, haven't you finished tying those bags yet? Oh, you really are hopeless.
Farewell, milady. We must dash. We're expected at the summit.
I don't care who you are. If you can't carry my luggage, you're useless to me.
The summit is just ahead. The leaders should be arriving any moment.
Wonderful. It's Tellinger. Here's Tellinger the Artificer himself. Must it always take a crisis to pull you away from your toys, Telly?
Vanus, your robes smell of failed experiments and your words of failed wit.
Tell me, Telly, what Dwemer rubbish pit did you crawl out of this week?
You really must learn to respect your betters, old friend.
Do let me know when one happens by, won't you? I don't have the time or the energy, Tellinger, so I'll bid you good day.
Getting the leaders to cooperate will be no small task. I hope you're up for it.
After getting captured by those goblins in Stone Falls, I've had my fill of them.
I remember you. You're the reason my master back in Stone Falls almost ate me for dinner. Thank the divines I was able to hide in that chicken coop.
Of security. Alfari is over there.
Captain Alfari, has the island been secured?
Aye. All ships in the area have been diverted away from the island, and the wards are in place.
And the Alliance leaders?
They'll be here any moment. You three should get over there as soon as you can.
We're on our way. Thank you, Captain. We must make haste.
Security couldn't be tighter. This should go off without a hitch.
Guard duty on a tropical island? Sure, why not?
Once we get to Cold Harbor, it will be open season on Daedra.
Bah! I can't stand this glorified guard duty. Give me a skull to cleave.
I hope this invasion goes smoothly. I've got more than enough scars for one lifetime.
High King Emmerich of the Daggerfall Covenant. Queen Irene of the Old Merry Dominion. Yoren Skald King of the Ebonheart Pact.
We must put aside our differences and work together, or this assault is doomed from the start.
How do we know this isn't a ruse? A clever plan to divert our forces while your armies take the Imperial City.
I thought backstabbing was your favorite tactic, Emmerich.
Please, are you both so arrogant? Your weapons are children's toys compared to the horrors that Molag Bal commands.
I will not wager the future of my people on the word of a snow barbarian and an adolescent female. I fear for Tamriel's future if either of you were to sit upon the Ruby Throne.
Since when do you care about your people? You never lift a finger except to count your gold.
Please, my lords, this bickering is pointless.
What a waste of time.
Obstinate fools, both of you.
What a mess. Apologies, Vanus, but I'm going to check on my Lion Guard.
This is going about as well as I expected, unfortunately. Even if we can get them to stop bickering, they'll never agree to send troops to Cold Harbor. That would leave Cyrodiil unprotected. An interesting idea, but they need to stop bickering long enough to consider it. Why don't you visit each of them in their camps? See if you can reason with them individually.
Intractable fools. Their pride will see us all dead.
We've served as the first line of defense against Molag Bal's invaders, destroying his dark anchors all across Tamriel. They've succeeded in reducing their ranks and leveling half of Cyrodiil. What do you think? Willing and able. But, like the Mages Guild, we are constrained by a non-interference pact. The alliances will only tolerate our presence in their realms if we remain neutral. Unless all 3 alliance leaders consent to it, our hands are bound.
Your Skald King has all the patience of a bullet mating season. This is a negotiating table, not a battlefield. Can't you talk some sense into that thick head of his? That's more than I'm getting from them. What do you suggest? I don't doubt their commitment or their bravery, but they are few, and Molag Bal's followers are legion. Arce's beard, you're a bold one. But you may be right. If you can convince the barbarian and the Child Queen to agree, I'll consider it. Your Skald...
Keep your steel sheathed in the presence of the High King, or you'll answer to me.
Euron is being stubborn out of spite. He's your king. Can't you reason with him? Is there? What did you have in mind? Perhaps. But we don't know enough about Cold Harbor to fully understand what they'd be up against. Don't presume to think you can intimidate me. History will remember me as a bold and decisive leader who cared about her people. But you do have a point. If you can convince the others, we'll try your plan. Now, leave me in peace.
Be respectful in the Queen's presence. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
I tried, but these thick-skulled bastards will not see reason. But what about the war in Cyrodiil? If I commit troops to this invasion, the Pact will be vastly outnumbered there. Wizards and mercenaries against the Daedric hordes. Without the Ebonheart Pact, they do not stand a chance. You make some sense after all. I will support this foolish plan if you can convince the other leaders.
Our alliance owes you a great debt, friend.
Deep Crag Quama mine had some trouble recently. I always wondered why they call it a mine.
Any luck? Or are they still at an impasse? I hope they come to their senses soon. We're going to lose the element of surprise. With very good reason, but the sooner they come to an agreement that... Does the air feel strange to you? That's odd. All of a sudden it feels like a storm is approaching. I have an ill feeling about this.
He has arrived. I can't.
Chaldean! What's happening?
Go! Get away from me! Run!
These are the great leaders of Tamriel. Pathetic. But how convenient to have them gathered together in one place, so I can crush them like insects.
Stay back, Countess!
The insects fight back. How amusing, and yet so very sad. All of Nirn shall be mine.
Chaldean! Protect the leaders, defeat Molag Bal's minions, and close the unstable rifts.
This is all they send to kill me. Truly?
Curse that Molag Bal! That Molag Bal.
We were so worried about the Alliance leaders fighting among themselves. We never saw this coming.
I thought we were safe here, hidden from the enemy. The god of schemes grows more powerful by the day. Agreed. There's no time to waste. We must take the fight to him. Yes. At the Iliad Well, at the center of the island. After that terrible display of power, I don't think they have much choice. Honored leaders, you have seen the face of our enemy! Molag Bal threatens every living being in Tamriel. The Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild have agreed to join forces to launch an assault on Cold Harbor!
Trust in us. Sanction our actions. Give us your blessings. We will not let you down.
Vanos is right. The guilds are our best and only choice. Send them to Cold Harbor.
I hate to admit it, but I agree with Emmerich.
As do I. It appears that much of the distrust between our alliances was sown and nurtured by the god of schemes.
Molag Bal thrives on deception and chaos. But if you'll forgive me, this alliance war is of your own making.
Countess Akruba! Gather the surviving members of both guilds in the Sturk interior. The champion and I will go there now to open the portal.
We'll be right behind you, Vanus.
The time has come, champion.
Don't mind me. I'll be fine. It takes more than a few Daedra to finish me off.
Stendarr, protect us all! We're as ready as we shall ever be. Unfortunately, yes. It's not the massive army we'd hoped for. But now that Molag Bal knows we're coming, a smaller group might be our only hope of slipping into Cold Harbor undetected. It's difficult to predict where you will emerge once you reach Cold Harbor. Be on your guard, my friend.
Molag Bal's realm is one of the most dangerous and inhospitable places in all of Oblivion. We must not take this invasion lightly.
As a famous treasure hunter and expert historian, it's no wonder the Mages Guild specifically asked for me to come along. I do hope my manservant Stibbons can handle the sights of Cold Harbor, though. He's a rather sensitive sort.
I shall lead the Fighters Guild into this dreadful realm. We'll make the Lord of Schemes pay for attacking Nirn.
Cold Harbor sounds dreadful. How am I ever going to keep my lady safe in such a dangerous place?
Cold Harbor? I don't mind admitting that this old dungeon delver is probably more excited than she should be. I can't wait to see what kind of artifacts we can recover.
I'd rather not get eaten by a Daedroth, but I dearly love a few of their teeth.
Our job will be to help Varnus with the portals. We'll need a lot of them to establish supply lines after we start conquering territory.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to break a few Daedric necks.
The Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild working together? This one never expected to see the day.
Are there any spells or traps in Cold Harbor that could turn me into a chicken? I'd just like a fair warning.
There aren't any goblins in Cold Harbor, are there? I have a profound dislike of the vile creatures.
I'm ready to cleave some skulls. Do Daedra have skulls? I imagine they do, depending on which type we run into.
I wonder if there are any beautiful ladies in Cold Harbor. Or is that a different Daedric prince?
I don't know how you managed to pull this off, but the guilds are with you.
Hello, what's this? Survived then, have you? Jolly good, jolly good. Rotten luck. They arrived in Cold Harbor, but in entirely different locations. Bloody unpredictable. Portals to oblivion. Not to mention Molag Bal's defenses. Nasty beasties abound. Off you go, over the bridge and head inland. There's a good chap. Welcome back to Cold Harbor, old chum. Jolly good to see you. I was afraid you'd snuffed it. What bridge? Is there a bridge? Tricky things, bridges. Tend to have all kinds of hideous creatures living beneath them. Except that one over there. That one leads to the Hollow City. Dreadfully dull place, and a real eyesore if you ask me, but I suppose it's where you want to start your quest. Quest! What a simply fabulous word. Quest. Quest. Quest! I just love how it rolls off the tongue. Welcome back to Cold Harbor, old chum. Welcome to the beautiful gardens of Cold Harbor. Do have a look around. Lovely day for it. Soak up the ambiance, the grandeur, the wonder of it all. I have the oddest feeling we've discussed this before, or did I already mention that? No matter.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Very few would dare to enter the Prince of Murder's realm of their own choosing. Your action consists of equal parts bravery and stupidity. I think in this case, that's exactly what we need. We've been waiting for you, Planewalker. You may refer to me as the Groundskeeper, one of the few survivors that remain. I tend to this city. The magic that protects these walls and keeps us safe requires constant nurturing and the utmost care. The city's original name no longer matters. Now it is a hollow city, waiting to be filled. A perfect place to begin an assault on Molag Bal. This city can be your armor against the hazards of Cold Harbor. It just needs life to return it to glory. It could be. There is no safer place in Cold Harbor, for Molag Bal's reach cannot extend into the Hollow City. That is what was intended, and that is the way it is. Please walk with me. Let me show you why this city will serve your needs. Watch and listen. While I could explain things to you, it will be better to simply show you. The history of the city permeates these streets, and with a bit of magic, I can reveal it to you. Now come, let us walk. Long ago, this city existed in Nern. It was alive and vibrant, and went by a different name. Its people were devoted to Prince Meridia, the Radiant One. They lived in peace and assumed themselves safe from any dangers. But Meridia has enemies, such as the despicable Molag Bal. The Prince of Murder sent minions from Cold Harbor to destroy her beloved city. The city's defenders did what they could, but they were no match for Molag Bal's forces. Everyone outside the walls was slaughtered, but the warriors and mages managed to seal the gates to protect those huddled within. As fortune would have it, the Ayleid king Lalorian Dinar was visiting the city. A skilled warrior and tactician, he quickly took command of the city's defenses. The Ayleid king single-handedly protected one of the gates. As he fought, he prayed for assistance, and his prayers were answered. Meridia felt compassion for her followers, but she also saw an opportunity. Molag Bal's open portal worked both ways. The time had come to take the battle to Cold Harbor. Meridia warded the city and pushed it into Cold Harbor. The city arrived intact, but many of its inhabitants were either killed or scattered by this realm's protective spells. Even the Ayleid king was captured. Still, Meridia had accomplished the impossible. She stabbed a dagger into Molag Bal's side. A portion of her realm was in his domain, and he could not touch it. The survivors lost faith, however. One by one, they left the safe confines of the city to try to return to Nirn. They were foolish, and they paid the price for rejecting Meridia's edicts. Meridia foresaw a day when an opportunity would arise. An overconfident Molag Bal. Champions from another plane. On that day, this city would become the focal point for the assault against the Lord of Schemes. I say that the day has finally arrived. The great mage, Vanus Galarian, the Ayleid king, and you, our last best hope. You must gather your allies and bring them here. This city shall serve you well against Molag Bal. Know that every choice you make in Cold Harbor will have an effect on the Hollow City. It shall be reborn with every person you save, forged into a weapon by your own hands. I am your advisor. We both wish to stop Molag Bal's machinations. I offer you what help I can. The Hollow City awaits you and your allies. Use it wisely, and it shall not fail you. You must gather those who were lost. King Dinar and Vanus Galarian have vital roles to play, and they must be at your side. Rescue your missing companions. Return the Hollow City to its former glory, and we can begin the assault on Molag Bal. You shall require more than just the king and the mage, of course, but they are as good a starting point as any. Others in this realm, allies current and soon to be, all have important parts to play in this endeavor. As you seek out the mage and the king, I'm sure you shall meet others who require your aid. Look for those you trust and who would be willing to join us here. Go west, beyond the Moonless Walk. There you shall find the Ayleid king, held within a tower of darkness. Vanus the mage is somewhere in the eastern plain. His exact location is hidden from me. I recommend heading west first to find the Ayleid king, but the choice is yours. If you wish to free King Dinar, you must recover the lights of Meridia. The lights have the power to unlock his prison of darkness. Originally, the lights were a gift from Meridia, power that protected the city and made life easier for its inhabitants. When she pushed the city into Cold Harbor, she filled the lights with even more of her divine power. King Dinar is trapped within a tower of darkness, bound by shadows and dark magic. Meridia's lights can unravel those bonds. Without them, you won't be able to set the Ayleid king free. As you no doubt noticed, Molag Bal's realm has its own defenses. Things that teleport onto this plane tend to get scattered, as were your allies, as were the lights. They could be anywhere, but most likely, they are guarded by Molag Bal's forces. Rumors only, I'm afraid. I have heard tales of a strange prison to the northwest. A tower that is not a tower, that guards one of the lights. And others whisper of a vile laboratory to the southeast that distorts the purity of Meridia's light.
This one and his beloved mate sought shelter, but there was none to be found. Urnabi, she didn't make it. Now I lack the will to go on. Our children will grow up without parents. They will be poor and destitute, and probably die young and alone. This one and his mate, we lost our way one night. We followed a light in the forest and wound up in this depressing place. We took shelter in a cave to the northeast, but that didn't work out so well. Especially not for poor Ernabi. We were attacked by Nilokilo and his monsters as soon as we set foot in the cave. This one and poor Ernabi fought our way out and eventually escaped into the wastes. This one's beloved Ernabi was wounded in the escape. She died before we could reach safety and find a healer. This one's claws will never be sharp again.
I'll handle this, sir. You can come out and see in a moment. So, someone has come to help us at last. We're out here in the middle of Cold Harbor, and that's the best question you can come up with? I am most definitely not talking to myself. I am speaking to the alchemist. Be quiet, you mangy cat. I can't hear myself think with all that racket. Patience, sir. I'll explain everything. I am with the Mages Guild. We stepped through the portal and wound up in this vile laboratory. Daedra experimented on us. They merged our two souls. Now we're wasting away as this soul meld kills us.
Ah, to see out of Khajiit eyes again. Zar hates being caged in that dark place. Yes, this one is pretty famous. Perhaps you have heard of Zar. But Zar must tell you, this soul meld is killing us. Will you help us? Will you unmeld our souls? Unmeld is so to a word. Pardon. The dwarven device that caused this is inside the laboratory. But Robo blocks the way. Collect Zar's notes and a bottle of pearl tincture. With those, this one can make a potion that will get you past the rubble. Questions are good. Ask and ask again. That is the systematic method of experimentation. Remember that you must know the rules before you can successfully break them. Their specialty is transmutation. Change one thing into another. So, not too difficult to change you from large to small. Then you can slip past the obstacles that block the entrance. Zer never said it would be easy, Dark Elf. Mind your tongue. Unfortunately, no. The soul meld weakens us, and we must conserve our strength. With the recipe and the ingredients, this one can make a transmutation potion and exert almost no energy whatsoever. A much better approach at this time, yes? Oh yes, we came to defeat the evil Moloch Ball. Or was it Menemarco? Zer forgets. So many bad things start with the letter M. But something went wrong and Godress, and this one ended up here. That's when the Daedra melted our souls.
You have no idea what it feels like to have a Khajiit scratching around inside your head. I know you said you were sorry, but the question has been asked. One of us is disorganized and enjoys experimenting with dwarfen machinery. The resulting explosion reduced the entryway to a pile of rubble and sent our supplies in all directions. Safe enough. We'll make our way to the entryway. We can manage a simple illusion to mask our presence. I wish we weren't so weak, however. I never realized how my ability to perform magic defined me. Now that I cannot do the things that once came so easily to me, I almost don't know who I am. Having a talking cat inside my head doesn't help much either. A few of us arrived together, but only the alchemist and I survived the experiments. Zer's explosion had one desirable side effect. It destroyed our Dremora captors. We have information vital to the Mages Guild, should we escape this predicament.
Can never have enough of that. Study. This could get dicey.
Over here. This one used an illusion spell. Very little effort. It is good to be out and about. Cold Harbor is an inhospitable place, but this one is adaptable. Xur thought this was where he left the tincture, so I came to investigate. Don't tell Godress that Xur was here. A simple illusion spell protected me, but Godress gets worried. Me? I like to explore. This one has always enjoyed trying new and different things, but this situation, it is very strange, very awkward. Is that thought me, Xur, or me, Godress? This one can never be certain where his thoughts end, and Godress's begin. Very good.
Finders keepers, as they say.
Xur told you our friend would find us, Godress. Don't worry too much. Godress is upset because we had to hide behind some rocks. Undignified, he said. Well, Xur says that being eaten by a deformed creature is even more undignified. Quiet, Godress. This one knows what he's doing. This is most fragrant work, my friend. Most fragrant. Xur shall draft the potion immediately. It should make you slightly smaller. Certainly small enough to squeeze through the rubble. Long enough to slip into the laboratory. A few minutes, give or take. Now, let Xur think. Was it 6 or 7 drops of tincture? Xur thinks he saw some dried scarecrow over here. Ah, yes, here it is. Ah, Xur's finest potion yet. You will drink it now, yes?
This grows more taxing by the hour. Here is the potion. I hope Xur didn't cut any corners, but knowing him, it probably tastes terrible. Yes, Xur, I'll be sure to mention it. I am not a mixer of potions, and I don't want to debate the merits of alchemy with Xur again. But the cat knows what he's doing. Inside, look for my notebook. It lists what you need to craft the antipodal rods. Rods that will reverse the soul meld. Just find the components and craft the rods. We will try to recuperate and regain enough strength to teleport ourselves inside. If you have questions, please ask them before you drink the potion. The potion will work, you'll see. And know that I am grateful for your help. We both are.
Hope we find...
Over here! The constructs have moved away from the forge. All this skulking around using up valuable energy on apprentice-level illusions. I grow ever more weary. Even Zer's enthusiasm is ebbing. I'm afraid to hope too much. But you've made such progress. Perhaps we shall end this torment after all. The constructs have moved off. The forge area is clear, at least for the moment. Melt the components in the furnace, then craft 2 rods from the mixture. There is an anvil near the furnace. Be careful, though. The mixture can be volatile. The machine that merged us is further on, in the Overseer's atelier. We'll meet there. Teleportation was never this difficult before. The spell took so much out of me I was afraid we would never materialize. But Xur has the key to this room. He acquired it shortly after we'd got here. Were you able to craft the antipodal rods? We are so close. You need to use the rods to activate the dwarven device that performed the soul meld. Oh, and the crystal. I'm getting as careless as Xur. Look for a glowing crystal. The Overseer placed it in the machine to power the device. Well, in a manner of speaking, understand that Xur and I do not have two separate bodies to return to. But if this works, the soul meld won't kill the both of us. The magic will separate the intertwined strands of our souls, but only one of us will survive the process. Do not be dismayed. We rejoice at a chance for one of us to survive. Go on ahead. We will meet you inside momentarily. Stop shouting, Xur. What? Oh, yes, of course. No, you're right. Xur reminds me that you have been most helpful, and we need to rest anyway. So I decided not to cut you off with a snide retort. Please accept my apologies and ask your questions. Based on our own experience, it appears that merging two souls into one vessel causes an internal storm as the souls vie for control. It takes all of our mental fortitude to maintain our individual personalities. Then nature takes its course, but at least we will have tried to beat this. At least one of us has a chance to survive, and know that, however this ends, I am grateful for the aid you have provided us. If the device works the way I expect, then the person operating it will decide which of our souls survives the reversal process, and which is discarded. I guess it will be up to you to choose who lives and who dies. Well, I could make a strong case as to why I should be the one to survive. My qualifications, my experience, my worth to the Mages Guild. But the truth is, I have grown fond of Xur. My right to survive is no greater than his. I cannot advise you. I wasn't sure the illusion would last long enough to make it across the chamber, but it did.
As the end approaches, this one must admit that he will miss our time together. This one can't believe you crossed this chamber without so much as an illusion to mask your presence. You are so brave. This one, Xur's whiskers were twitching inside the Dark Elf's head. Next comes the exciting part. You test our theory. See those two pillars? One represents Xur, the other Godress. Insert the antipodal rods and turn on the device. If it works, you should be able to separate our melded souls. Yes, as we have explained, one body, one soul. At least one of us will survive to help the Mages Guild. This one knows you will make the right decision. Place the crystal into the machine, then insert an antipodal rod into each pillar to start the unmelding process. Please, hurry. One of us must be saved.
I'm grateful that you chose to save me. Still, I feel a bit lost. I wish Zer was still here. I'm not sure if I will ever be all right, but I live. I'm ashamed that I thought Zer was silly and scatterbrained. My time melded to him taught me so much. Zer had a good soul. I believe that the crystal powering the device is one of the fabled lights of Meridia. Grab the crystal and meet me outside. You should be able to open the exit door. With my strength returning, I can teleport myself to a safe place. Thank you again for your help, for choosing me, but I wish that both Zer and I could have been saved. During our time together, Zer and I determined that the Dwemer device has similarities to the method Molag Bal uses to perform the plane meld. I will honor Zer's memory and give him credit for this discovery. Thank you again. Now that my strength has returned, I can open a portal to the Hollow City. This portal will only remain open for a few minutes. I hope to see you again in the Hollow City.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Ah!